Hello, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another video where we are going to talk about time. This is a topic that comes up all the time when I am asking what are you struggling with? Why do you feel like you're not achieving your goals? I don't have time. I don't have time. I don't have time to work on my goals. And I hear you, I get it. Life is busy. We have a lot going on, whether it's commitments that we are excited about, commitments that we're not excited about, things that just have to get done as humans that exist in this world. Life is busy. And there are a lot of times, especially this time of year, when we feel like we have no time to work on our goals. I get it. I feel the same way. So in this video, I'm going to give you some simple, maybe not groundbreaking, but hopefully straightforward things that you can do to help you find the time to work on your goals. But first things first is we've got to let go of expectations. I actually did a whole video on this topic where we have to realize that we are not going to be making goal leaps, and instead we need to focus on the smaller steps and the smaller improvements. Especially again, this time of year when things are crazy and busy and overwhelming, we are not going to be making giant leaps of progress. We are not going to be able to find hours and hours of time to work on something. Specifically for me right now, there is a lot of house projects. If you watch my goal video, I always share my personal goals with you. I have a lot of house projects going on right now that we have to clean out the basement. I want to organize my scrapbooking supplies, and I also need to go through all of my daughter's baby clothes before baby number 2 gets here. And so what I have realized is, even though I would like hours and hours of time to work on any one of those things at any given time, I'm probably not going to find that. Instead, what I'm going to find is little individual pockets of time, maybe 5 minutes here, maybe 10 minutes there. Literally this morning, I had an extra 10 minutes. My daughter was all ready to go. She had eaten, she was dressed, all the things. And my mom, who was coming to pick her up, wasn't going to be there for 10 minutes. So we went down to the basement and we cleaned out a couple of things. I don't know how much progress we actually made, but we did something. And so I decided that goal was going to be something I worked on daily, because I was going to be looking for individual daily small pockets rather than hours. And that's just an expectation thing. I had to let go of any expectations I had that I was going to find hours of time. The good news is we don't need hours, right? Just like I shared in my example, we can make progress in small pockets of time. Now it's still the beginning of the month, so like who knows how this is going to go, right? You can hear the update in my next goals video. Subscribe so that you can, hear about my updates. But I know deep down that if I prioritize a small pocket of time, most days, I'm going to see progress at the end of the month. So if there is a goal that you feel like you really don't have time for, I would ask you, can you make your action step 5 to 10 minutes? What can you do to find a little pocket of time? How can you make it something that you're making progress on in a little bit? Now, I understand that there are going to be exceptions, right? There are going to be goals that you can't do it and you can't make progress in 10 minutes. But I would go on a limb and say that most goals, right? We're never all or nothing here on this channel. Most goals, you could find a step that you could make progress in 5 to 10 minutes. And if you feel like that's not true, I want you to comment with what your goal is in the comments and let's find that step together. But I would argue that for most goals, you would be able to find a pocket of time, an action step that you can do that's 5 to 10 minutes long, where you could make a little bit of progress, because it will add up. It will add up. If you do 5 minutes a day over the course of the month, that is going to add up quicker than you know, and you're going to see progress quicker than you know. So whatever it is, whatever goal it is that pops into your head when you hear, I don't have time, what is an action step you can take that is 5 to 10 minutes long? The next reminder I want to give you related to this topic is, as you're working on this, as you're doing your 5 to 10 minutes and your little pockets of time, is to focus on consistency, not intensity. What happens to a lot of us is when we feel like we can only do 5 to 10 minutes of time, which again is fine. I feel like I just explained why that's fine. We have to up it, right? We have to do more in that time in order to make up for it. And while some days that might be possible, and for some goals it might be possible, that's not what I'm trying to do here. I'm not trying to encourage you to get 20 minutes worth of something done in 10 minutes. Let's use exercise, for example. If you are constantly saying, I don't have time to exercise, and I say, okay, can you do 10 minutes of something? So you find a 10-minute, free yoga YouTube video that you're gonna do. You immediately feel like, well, yoga's not enough. if that's what I normally do to work out, but in my dream world, right, I'm taking a 60-minute, beautiful in-person yoga class, which ultimately is more than 60 minutes, right? By the time you like get there and get your spot and drive and all the things, it takes way more than that. And so you may not have time for that right now, and that's okay. So you find this free 10-minute, yoga YouTube video. But you say to yourself, oh, but if I'm only doing 10 minutes, I really need to be doing something more intense, like a HIIT workout. So you Google and you switch and you go to a 10-minute HIIT workout. And then you do this really tough 10-minute HIIT workout when your body is used to you doing yoga. The next day you wake up so sore. You're so sore. You've like never been that sore in your life. And so then what do you think you do the next day? You skip it, and then maybe the next day because you're still sore. And now you've kind of fallen out of a rhythm. And so doing it the next day, even just 10 minutes, even though it's only 10 minutes, and you could probably find 10 minutes in your day that you can spend on working out instead of, scrolling Instagram for a million times, just me. But you're out of the habit. And so it doesn't feel like enough. And so then you stop. You do not need to increase your intensity. I want you to just focus on consistency. Even if you feel like it's not enough, it is. The next thing I want you to think about when you're thinking about or saying to yourself that you don't have time to work on your goals is what is taking up your time, okay? So what is on your schedule? And I feel like I have talked about in prior videos about time tracking, and I think it can be helpful. And maybe I need to do a whole separate video on that. I think it can be helpful for short spurts of time. I don't think time tracking on a regular basis is mentally healthy for most of us, but doing it for like a day or maybe a couple of days up to a week just to find out where your time is going. Like when you say, I don't have time, okay, where is your time going? And then you have your answer, right? I'm spending this many hours, doing household type things. I'm spending this many hours, with my kids. I'm spending this many hours working. I'm spending this many hours sleeping, etc. Then you know where your time is going. And you can look at it and see where you could maybe say no. Is there something, I heard this example somewhere, I don't want to mess it up. So when you're looking at your schedule, there are the 3 Ds. Can it be delegated, delayed, or deleted? So is it something that somebody else can do? Is it something that you can delegate? And maybe it's delegating temporarily. Somebody else is doing it, right? Right now when I'm pregnant and my energy levels are really at a minimum, there's a lot of things that my husband does instead. Like I'm delegating to him because it's not something that I, have the capacity, or it's not worth my energy right now. Is it something that can be delayed? Can it be pushed off? Does that have to happen right now? Or can it be pushed off in place of something else? Or can it be deleted? I am very guilty of this, spend time doing things that are because we've always done them or because we feel like we should do them. Things we probably can just take off our list. Things that can probably just be deleted. And maybe I'm not talking about deleting hours and hours off of your schedule, but maybe it's little things here and there that add up that you can delete from your schedule. And even if it's temporary, even if you're delaying it or delegating it temporarily so that you can free up a little bit of time to work on your goals, it'll add up over time. The last piece of this, once you have that time or you have that space to work on your goals, is you have to prioritize. And it's hard. A lot of times, I have been here, when we say the phrase, I don't have time to work on my goals, what we're really saying is, I don't have time to work on all of my goals. I don't have time to work on every goal that I want to work on. I don't have time to do all the things I want to do. And that's always going to be true. We're never going to have the time that we want to work on all the things we want to work on. I think we will always have more goals than we have time. That's, I think, just life. So we have to prioritize. And I've done lots of videos on actually how to prioritize. This is just the reminder that it's necessary, and it's hard, and it can be frustrating, and it can be picking between your 2 favorite movies that you're but I really love them both. Okay, but if you only have time to do one right now, which one is more important? Which one is going to move you closer to the life that you want to live? Which one is going to improve your happiness? Whatever it is that matters to you. I say this phrase all the time. I actually just did a whole video inside the community about the concept of happiness versus joy, but I always say the line, and I stand by it even after that deep dive. I believe that we all deserve to be happy. I believe that you deserve to live a life that is filled with happiness. And I believe goals are how you get there. You may decide that your priority right now is paying off the debt. And that may not be the happiest thing in the world, right? Because it might mean spending less on certain things, but that's your priority. So that's where you're going to focus. You might decide that your priority right now is soaking up as much time with your family as possible and being able to to say yes to family events. Maybe you have an aging parent or grandparent and you want to say yes to as many things as possible. So that might mean that you are not prioritizing certain aspects of your house that you'd like to clean, right? Like there's always going to be a trade-off, and we're always going to have to prioritize. And it may feel like, okay, but it's all important. It's all important, but something has got to be more important. And it may be really tough to make that call. I totally get it. But if you just sit there and tell me that you don't have time for any of it and it's all important, then you're not going to do any of it. But if you decide, okay, right now, this is important and I'm going to prioritize this, you're going to make movement. You're going to make progress. And the best part is that it's temporary. I'm not telling you have to prioritize, debt over happiness for the rest of your life. I'm not telling you that you have to prioritize family time over cleanliness for the rest of forever. I'm saying right now, this is what is important to you. And so that's how you're going to prioritize for whatever that temporary time period is. That is the time that you're going to prioritize, and that is what's going to work for you. So that got a little bit more emotional at the end than I meant it to. But the purpose of this video is just to remind you that you don't need giant hours of time. You need to find 5 to 10 minute pockets, pick your priorities, focus on consistency, and I promise you do have time for your goals. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, I feel like it's too obvious, but comment with the clock emoji, as always. And the new Goals with Laken, if time is really something, or prioritizing is something you feel like you struggle with, the Goals with Laken planner is a great tool to help you as we start to plan for 2026. The new version is out. There's a video with a full flip through if you want to see all the details of the planner. And as always, it will be linked in the description box, the new full year version. I can't believe it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please click that subscribe button. I upload new videos every week focused on helping you achieve your goals. Thank you so much for watching. I have been there. We did a little bit. Once again, what do I want to call that? I think we will always,